What was the inspiration for the record? Well, you know, like I would say the past 2 years and a half, I've been dealing like with a lot of shit. Especially like I lost my pop like suddenly out of nowhere, but that's another story. But besides that, when I lost my father, what I did, the first thing was actually I decided to get an artist and produce that artist because I didn't feel like being in the forefront. Because after OG's Dream dropped, it was like I was on that high. Like everything was right. We had the deal on the table that we didn't sign because we wanted more money for the advance. And you know, I decided to get an artist, develop that artist, and make sure that that artist drops something. I end up, you know, doing a whole project that never came out, clashing with the artist a lot. You know, the project was super hot, and after a few conversations with like my partner Drama, my management Black Picasso, it was like, yo, they were like, yo, why don't you get back to being an artist? And I was like, I don't know, like I want to be behind. I love being an executive producer. You know, I always wanted to be an A&R, and I was like, you know what, I can write records and produce records and do it like kind of like a Babyface and a L.A. Reid and shit like that. So that didn't pan out right. I started to develop like an excessive anxiety that was triggered with my relationship with the other artists. And I decided that, you know, we had to cut it, and we cut it, and I started to feel good again. So I was like, okay, that was one situation. Another situation was, you know, like working with some people, and, you know, those people, you know, those same people that be like calling you out and be like, yo, what's up, bro? And shit like that. You help them and nothing ever pans out, or you get fucked over in a situation. And I was tired about that. I was like, you know what? These niggas is fucking goofies. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're fucking goofy. And you know what? I made that record. That's how it felt. That's how I felt. And that's about it. You know, that record, at first, it was just a hook and a beat. And it was, my manager, Picasso, hit me up and he was like, yo, 2 Chainz want a record. And we made that record with a few others. And the hook was, y'all niggas is goofies. Like, if you listen to it, think about putting like 2 Chainz vocal on it. And it sounds like a record that 2 Chainz could do. Like, y'all niggas is goofies, you know, some 2 Chainz shit. And, you know, every time that I'm sending a record to artists, I try to like put a verse in it or something like that. Because you never know what can happen from that. That's one thing that my manager really, you know, taught me. And, you know, we got that shit done. We sent it to him. It didn't make the record. And I decided to finish the whole record and do that shit. And voila, y'all got that record, you know? And I love that record. Like when I did it, I was on the phone with my cousin, which is like A&Ring with me, the hood pastor, Ricky. And I used to tell him, I was like, yo, that record specifically, I don't know, there's a feeling. There's a feeling to it that like, you know, like everybody got somebody that they like, yo, you're fucking goofy. You always dealing with that person. And that person is always trying to fuck you over again. You know, it's funny style niggas, and you shouldn't have funny style niggas around you. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, especially if you're an artist. Let these niggas out. You don't want these people. You just don't want them in your life, you know? So, you know, we made that record, and Ricky was like, yo, if you feel that's the first record that should be out, put it out. And that's what we did, you know? Like, that record is, I'm not gonna say a year old, but it could be like close to a year old. You know, like, definitely got shit in the stash. Definitely got shit in the stash. So yeah, goofies. That's what this is.
Anti-anxiety, nigga.